And we're back. We do a little bit more work. I've been working on some other things, but we're going to do a little bit more work here and let's get to it. So we're back. Oops, didn't get rid of this thing. There we go. I love doing this. There we go. Hmm. Hey. So, so going back to the, let's go back to the beginning here. We all have fears in life. It is an integral part of our innate survival instinct. Fear can bring us pleasure, such as the adrenaline rush of a roller coaster. Fear can also paralyze us into inaction. The good news is, excuse me, we can learn to prevent the latter from happening. Oops, somehow this is fear. So let's bring it back in. Happening, period. And let's see if the dictation is working as well as it should be. One of the, wait, I guess I could try saying that. One of the biggest fears we have as human beings has to do with interpersonal relationships. Fear of rejection can sap our need to interact socially with each other. But it doesn't have to be that way if we want to change the way we think about first impressions. When we first meet somebody, our initial instinct is to come across the best that we can to the other person. That's not a bad idea, but all too often our best is an unrealistic representation of ourselves. Pick up to so we have a connection here. Let me start out by asking you a question. What scares you when you first meet someone? For most people, it has to do with the fact that they don't feel as if they look their best. Sometimes people feel they won't come across as intelligent. Maybe something else in there too. I know what. Start listening. Hey, it was worth a shot. One of our fears is to not come across as socially inept. Period. This is especially true when you're in a social situation outside of your comfort zone. Period. Pause listening. Pause listening. Backspace. Backspace. Stop listening. Oh, that worked. Learn something new every day. Start listening. Begin listening. Start listening. I guess that doesn't work. So we'll just go for the obvious. Is that we may pause listening. Stop listening. One of our fears is that we may come across as being socially inept. This is especially true when I actually think that should be when we're in a social situation outside of this is why this is a first draft. Our comfort zone. It sounds a lot better. Finally, some people just feel uncomfortable when meeting someone new. Reasons may have to do with the first two reasons that were mentioned. No, that doesn't sound right. Reasons I've previously it's pause dictation. The reasons may have to do with feelings I've previously mentioned, excuse me, or maybe for some other reason totally out of their control. For instance, there could be a physical attribute that makes them feel uncomfortable because they believe that that physical attribute will make someone else feel uncomfortable. I can identify with this, but I can't relate to it. I walk with crutches. I understand that people have a preconceived idea of who or what I am just by seeing me walk. They may not even realize that these preconceived ideas are there, but they are. We all have preconceived ideas based on physical attributes because of television and movies. There's a better way of saying that. Start dictation. Begin dictation. Yeah, it was worth a shot. What we see on television and in television and movies, and lead us to believe that a characteristic is true cause dictation can lead us to believe that a characteristic is true even though it is not. Take someone speaking with a strong southern drawl. That person could have a PhD in nuclear physics, but because of our conditioning from external sources, we immediately consider that person to be of a lesser intelligence. I'm going to use myself as an example. As I said, I walk with crutches. I know that people have preconceived ideas about handicap. Preconceived stereotypes about handicapped people. My objective whenever I meet someone is to destroy those preconceptions before I even open my mouth. Oh, that's a mess. Hang on. This is happening because of my keypad. I'm getting a new keypad, but it automatically does that every time I wake it up. When I walk up to them, I immediately take one crutch in my other hand and put out my free hand for a handshake. See what you think isn't exactly what you want to say, but it's great to put it down on paper, or in this case, digital paper, and correct it later, as I'm doing now. Because at least the thought is there. You can always clean it up later. That will show that shows the person that the crutches are just a walking aid, nothing more. By doing this, I'm not making the other person feel uncomfortable. I've also pretty much blown up their preconceived notions of what it's like to be handicapped. So, what do you do if your fear of meeting new people isn't due to outward appearance? My suggestion would be to act as if it is. Take a moment to understand why we always try to, if you're writing something that's casual, always try to make your audience feel like you're a part of it, um, or like they're a part of it. So you want the reader to feel like he's a part of your story. Use words like we, us, that sort of thing to make the reader feel as if he or she is a part of your story. He, she, or they. Why we feel insecure meeting new people. Be open and honest with yourself. Once you figure out the triggers that make you feel insecure when meeting new people, you can also figure out a preemptive strike. And actually, that shouldn't be a quote. Editing is a full-time job. But I like dictation because I can get my thoughts down and worry about cleaning it up later. You can also figure out a preemptive strike that will obliterate that insecurity. Trust me, this does work. Instead of fixating on the problem, you're actually fixing that problem. Try it the next time you meet someone new. One of the most emotionally draining experiences in everyday life is going on a first date. In most cases, the only thing you know about the other person is what they look like. That's it. The truth is, where's my cursor? Here it is. The truth is, you're always going to be on your best behavior when you're first attracted to somebody. Actually, you're on better than your best behavior. You're exhibiting a behavior you've never seen before. Truthfully, neither has the other person. Truthfully, neither will the other person when they get to know you, because it's a very unrealistic behavior. Okay, so there we have that. And when the article is completed, I will probably go through it again, probably clean it up a little bit more, depending on how the rest of the article goes. But that's pretty much the process I'm working on. And with that, I'm going to take a little break here. I will see you later. Till then, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else, and take care. And here we go. Talk to you later.